Over the years, there have been some gruesome crimes committed by young people. In this video, we take a look at student killers reacting to court sentences. Some of these student killers were given the death sentence. Stay tuned, Gabriel Parker. The sophomore who killed 2 Marshall County High School classmates and injured 14 others in a 2018 school shooting received 2 life sentences after pleading guilty to 2 counts of murder. Gabriel Parker, now 18, was 15 when he brought his stepfather's Ruger Mk .222 caliber pistol to school and opened fire in a common area, killing 3 15-year-olds. Parker reportedly went to the school's band room to check with his friends before the shooting to make sure they were not in the area before returning to the commons area and beginning his attack. After the shooting, Parker discarded the weapon and ran to the weight room and hid with other students. Unaware he was the shooter, students motioned for him to join them in hiding. Another student who was hiding in the location recognized Parker as the shooter and alerted a teacher in the room about the shooter's identity. The teacher then called law enforcement. In addition to 2 life sentences, Parker was sentenced to decades more in prison on 8 counts of first-degree assault and 6 counts of second-degree assault. He will be eligible for parole at age 35, 20 years after he committed the violent act. Nikolaz Cruz. Nikolaz Cruz was formally sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing 17 people in the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The sentence was handed down several weeks after the jury recommended he receive life in prison instead of the death penalty. Before the official sentencing, witnesses and family members of the victims were given the chance to address Cruz and the court, with many expressing anger that Cruz had been spared execution. Nearly a year after Cruz pleaded guilty to all 17 counts of murder and attempted murder, the jury in the penalty phase of his trial handed down a sentence of life in prison. For all counts, Cruz faced the death penalty or life in prison for the Valentine's Day 2018 school shooting. In reviewing each count, the jury agreed that Cruz was guilty of the shooting. However, at least one member of the jury believed that mitigating factors in this case, namely Cruz's mental illness, outweighed the evidence to justify the death penalty. The verdict was announced after 2 days of jury deliberation. The decision ended the 3-month trial, which included graphic photos and videos of the massacre, heart-wrenching testimony from both survivors and family members of the victims, and a tour of the blood-stained Florida school where the shooting took place. During the prosecution phase, a video of a psychiatrist's jailhouse evaluation of Cruz was shown to the jury, revealing that Cruz had planned the shooting for months and that he purposefully chose Valentine's Day for the tragedy because he had no one to love him. Of those killed, 14 were students, and 3 were staff members who perished running toward danger or trying to help students to safety. The Parkland shooting was the 5th deadliest school shooting in American history. Jesse Osborn. Jesse Osborn was responsible for the deadly shooting at the Townville Elementary School. Osborn, who was 14 at the time, drove into a fence of Townville Elementary School in a black pickup truck, got out of the vehicle, and began firing into the air near the school's playground with a .40 caliber pistol, repeatedly shouting, "I hate my life." He then jumped the fence and began firing at students. Police received a call on the shooting and swiftly acted and apprehended the suspect. According to Osborn, he threw his gun and his vest away after realizing he was going to hell and called his paternal grandparents in tears to confess what he had done. A body later identified as the suspect's father was discovered at the family home by Osborn's grandmother. Judge Lawton McIntosh handed down the sentence after tearful, heart-wrenching statements from family members of Jacob Hall, the 6-year-old first grader who Osborn mortally wounded. He faced a minimum of 30 years in prison, with life there being the maximum sentence. Osborn could not face the death penalty because he was 14 at the time of the crime. Osborn told the judge, "I wish this would have never happened. I don't know how I did this." He acknowledged that he needed help and told the judge, "I'll do whatever you say." That's it for this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.